they going to end up in the article? I know it's only a school newspaper, it's just sort of self-conscious about what my students might read. You understand, right? You do? Good. So, how do I know the famous, incredible Dr. Rueben Foster? Publicly, I know her as the scientist that just made that big cancer research breakthrough. Her name's everywhere. The newspapers, television, even the internet. But I knew her personally back when I was in high school, when I was your age. We had a lot of the class together, graduated the same year back in 1995. She was always sort of quiet in class and very disciplined. All of us saw her as the class geek, but really, she was just really driven. You have to be in order to study some mutation, I suppose. I just thought of something. In health class, she and I had a project where we were married with a baby. As a pretend married couple, we had to raise the sack of flour as if it were our own child. Now, the project only lasted a few days, but I promise you this, I will never forget going to her house after school to work on that project.
All right, Nicholas, let's get through this.
You know, you can just call me Nick.
No, Nicholas is more dignified.
Nobody calls me Nicholas.
I'm your wife, and I'll call you whatever I want.
All right, dear.
My name is not Dear, it's Melinda.
Call me whatever you want, so I call you what I want.
My name is Melinda Rueben Foster, and there are no reasonable nicknames.
Oh, I don't know about that. What about Mel?
No.
Lynn?
No.
Lindy?
No.
Linny? Linster? Melon? No. M-Dog?
No.
Hey, fine, no nicknames. I think Deer would be best, though.
Where's that?
Because Deer is plain, simple, and to the point, and you're very plain, simple, and to the point.
That's not true. I am highly complex with varying levels of sophistication, and I arrive at my arguments very cleverly and strategically. No, Dear would not suit me.
So then Melinda Rueben Foster would suit you, I suppose.
Well, of course.
All right, Melinda Rueben Foster, what are we supposed to do with this project thing?
First instruction is that we need to name our sack of flour and state how we arrived at that decision.
All right, Melinda Rueben Foster. What names do you like?
There are only two names that I will settle for, Alfred or Wilhelm.
Well, those are certainly interesting names, but quick question.
What's that?
I'm being serious now.
Fine.
Is our sack of flour baby like a 100-year-old German man?
Nicholas, I am the one being serious. You turn everything into a joke.
Okay, fine. Just trying to have a little fun.
Obviously.
So then seriously, why would you only settle for Alfred or Wilhelm?
Alfred Nobel established the first Nobel Prizes in 1885, and Wilhelm Röntgen received the first Nobel Prize in physics for discovering X-rays.
Go figure. The science geek in the class wants to name her kids after scientists. You don't like those names? I mean, seriously, what's the point of naming your kids after famous people?
If his mother is to win a Nobel Prize, then he should be influenced to do so as well.
That's great. You're going to live vicariously through your sack of flour.
Not at all. I just want him to feel included in my fame.
So you name it after other Nobel scholars.
Do you have any better ideas?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, it's not going to have a boring name.
Alfred and Wilhelm are not boring names.
Let me finish. I grew up having the most common name ever.
Nicholas?
No, Nick. There were 5 Nicks in my first grade class. Nick F.U., Nick Harrington, Nick Jonas, Nick Romanoff, and finally me, Nick Shepard. It was the worst school year of my entire life.
It can't be as bad as you remember.
We hated it. The teacher tried to call us all by our different names. We tried to come up with ways to differentiate ourselves, but in the end, I had to learn to write my full name on my spelling tests. That's 8 extra letters I didn't even know how to write out as a 6-year-old.
You mean 7 letters?
No, 8 letters.
No, 7. There are only 7 different letters in your last name. S-C-H-A-F-R. Besides, your name already has the letters A, S, C, and H, so really that's only F, E, and R. 3 letters.
The only letters in Nick are N, I, C, and K.
I'm talking about Nicholas, your name. At any rate, you would have needed to learn how to write the whole alphabet, let alone your full name, so you were getting a head start on everyone else, just like I did.
Just like you did?
The name Melinda Rueben Foster has 13 different letters in it. So that's half of the alphabet.
You were just born into ambition.
Of course I was. And while you could have embraced the advantage of getting ahead of your peers, you clearly avoided ambition.
It doesn't matter what you or I did, I wanted to have an interesting, distinctive name.
When you express your woeful tale of conformity, unique names aren't as exciting as one would think.
Well, Melinda is more exciting than Nick.
Perhaps you should start going by Nicholas.
Seriously, just let the Nicholas thing go. It doesn't work.
It works for me.
Well, you know what? Well, whatever. We should be focusing on its name.
Precisely.
What about Ronald?
I am not naming it after a Republican president.
Fine, I guess Rutherford and George are out. What about girl names like Angelica or Natasha? Yeah, I like that.
Angelica Morton told everyone at school that I drank my pee.
Right, I remember that.
And Natasha was the name of my Cocker Spaniel.
That's nice.
My Cocker Spaniel got hit by a garbage truck.
So not Angelica or Natasha. You know, we could get really creative with this.
Why bother?
Because creativity would get us extra points, and you seem like the kind of person that would dig that sort of thing.
Well, yes, I am.
Let's see. Sack of flour. Sack, flour, S-O. I got it.
What?
Let's call it soap. Like sack of flour, S-O-F. But it's also a nickname for Sophia.
No.
Oh, come on! It's got a hidden meaning, it's appropriate for its state of being.
On one condition.
What's that?
I get to call it Sophia.
Deal. Sign the paper. Glad we finally figured that out. So, what time do your parents get home? It's already 5:30. I thought I would have met the in-laws by now.
My mother doesn't get home from the laboratory until about 9 o'clock, and my father died when I was 12.
Oh. Sorry, I had no idea.
He had pancreatic cancer.
That's terrible.
It's fine. Happened 5 years ago.
Doesn't make it any better or easier. I mean, I would assume it doesn't make it any easier. I never had anyone in my family die, so I'm not really...
My parents fought a lot. They probably would have divorced by now. Probably better that he died.
Well, I don't really know, but I bet he would be really proud of you.
Don't say that.
He would be, Melinda Rueben Foster. You're smart, you're ambitious. He would have loved you.
But you don't know that. You know, you can't prove that. Nobody can prove something that doesn't exist. My father, Maxwell Foster, doesn't exist anymore, so we can't prove anything about what he would have been like today. The next part of this packet says that we need to say what our professions are. So, what are you going to be, Nicholas?
Well, Melinda Rueben Foster, I'm going to be a comedian. Yeah, it'll be fun. First I'll go to amateur night at local bars where I'll be discovered as fresh talent. Then I'll go off to comedy clubs around the world, and then BAM! I'll have my own show on Comedy Central. They'll call me the next Jerry Seinfeld.
Nicholas.
After establishing myself as an American icon, I'll host the Academy Awards and write raunchy sitcoms. At that point, of course, we'll have a house in both Los Angeles and New York, so we can go back and forth depending on our locational needs.
Nicholas.
I think Soph should grow up mainly in LA, but ultimately it will be her choice. What do you think? It's okay if you don't like my plan. I want your honest opinion.
Nicholas, you don't want my honest opinion.
All right then. What's your big bad plan?
I am going to be a physicist who studies the tunneling of photons.
Wow, that's impressive. And boring enough to fit your personality.
It's actually quite fascinating. You know, quantum physics is my calling. I'll spend most of my days with my work, and I will be known as Dr. Melinda Rueben Foster among my inferior colleagues. Even with my few superior colleagues will know me as Dr. Melinda Rueben Foster.
What about Dr. Melinda Rueben Foster Schaefer?
Dr. Rueben Foster Schaefer? That is ridiculous. Nobody in the esteemed scientific community would take me seriously if I had 3 last names. No, my name is hyphenated enough as it is. I don't need your name to complicate things.
Well, okay then, I guess Soph will just have to be Soph Schaefer.
You mean Sophia Rueben Foster.
No, I mean Soph Schaefer.
I want my name to get passed along.
Okay, I'll compromise. Soph Rueben Foster Schaefer.
Nicholas, I know that I told you that it would look ridiculous when she gets a Nobel Prize.
What if she doesn't want to get a Nobel Prize?
Well, she is going to get a Nobel Prize. End of discussion.
What if she wants to, I don't know, play basketball?
No. She is clearly too short to succeed in basketball.
Okay, maybe not basketball, but what if she wants to be an actress?
Absolutely not. No, she is not going to Harvard so that she can run off to Hollywood and flirt with James Dean.
James Dean has been dead for nearly 40 years.
She will not go into theater.
What if she wants to be a musician? What, like a cellist? What if...
Nicholas, no sports, no arts, just school.
You can't raise a kid like that.
Haven't I turned out fine?
Yeah, that's what you think.
What did you say?
Nothing, let's just move on.
This is just great. This is turning out just like my mother and father's marriage.
What do you mean?
They fought all the time over these stupid details. You know, what time I would do homework, who would cook dinner, all of that nonsense. And here we are doing the exact same thing.
A lot of couples do that. It's working through conflict. It's okay though because they still love each other.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, which part?
Love. Love doesn't exist.
No, that, what you just said, is ridiculous.
No, it's not. I've thought for a long time about it. It can't exist because you can't measure it. And if you can't measure it, then scientifically speaking, it does not exist.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not.
People fall in love every day. The human race depends on people falling in love to survive, doesn't it? I mean, doesn't it? Everything else, otherwise everything else would just die out.
You're assuming that reproduction and falling in love are the same thing.
People fall in love every day. People love people. People love things. How else do you explain your obsession with science, huh? You love science. You can't argue that.
I am driven. I am going to get honorable recognition in some form or another. You know, fortunately, I excel in science. That is how I'm going to get that recognition. That is how I'm going to be a great person. I am going to study things. I'm going to invent things. I am going to discover things. And then I will get the Nobel Prize in physics.
Why does that stupid Nobel Prize mean so much to you? If you win it, you'll just be another name that no one is ever going to know. There are perfectly good people who don't win Nobel Prizes.
It's the science, Nicholas. It's the distinguished scientists who matter.
Why?
Scientists define the progression of life. They are great. If I become a renowned physicist, then I will be great.
Have you lived a single day in normal life? People care more about each other than they do about scientific achievements. To normal people are great.
From my experience, normal people don't do anything important. I am going to do something important. I don't care about people and I don't care about relationships.
Clearly.
I am going to be great and I don't need you or anyone else.
Well, that's just great, Melinda Rueben Foster, because I don't need you or anyone else any more than you do.
So what will it be, Nicholas? Divorce, death by cancer or sickness? Or are you just gonna walk out on Sophia and me? Mother, you're home early.
I forgot some important documentation.
You must be Mrs.
Dr. Margaret Rueben, Howard Hughes investigator, R1 grant researcher in molecular engineering at NIH. Melinda, have you finished your homework yet?
Almost.
Almost.
No. Sorry, but I have almost finished my homework.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I was just,
Who are you?
Nick.
Nick.
Nicholas and I are working on a health project.
What sort of health project?
Well, you see, we have this sack of
We are
flour.
analyzing the dynamics of marital relationships as they pertain to today's modern age through simulation.
I see. Melinda, your grade report arrived yesterday.
Yes, I believe that.
You did very well overall, except for in history.
History, I mean,
And as a penalty, until your grades improve, I'm going to suspend your New York Times subscription, and I'm going to withhold your leisurely reading books.
no, Mother, please don't do that. I'm almost finished without
You got an A- in history. I believe that is a suitable punishment.
Well, I don't think so.
I beg your pardon.
I mean, it's an A-. That's way better than I do in any of my classes.
Nicholas, you do not understand the circumstances in which you are interrupting, who you are talking to, or the situation at hand. My daughter Melinda is going to be a Nobel Prize-winning physicist. She is not going to accomplish this, however, if she fails in school.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but she's
That's
not.
enough, young man. Melinda, may I remind you that MIT does not accept an A- student. Neither does Harvard nor Berkeley. You are going to be applying to colleges in 4 months. You are running out of time to be perfect. In my opinion, you have a long way to go. I have to get back to the lab. I'll be home later.
Yes, of course. Bye.
Melinda.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
Nicholas, what are you doing?
You're a smart girl, Melinda. I think you can figure it out.
You should probably go home now.
Yeah, you're right, but you should hold on to Soph tonight. Get a little girl time, or whatever.
Yeah. And I have a lot of studying to do. She can participate if she chooses.
Okay, good. I'll see you tomorrow.
You are coming back tomorrow, right?
Absolutely.
Great. That's great, Nick. I'll listen.
Sometimes when I'm at the grocery store getting flour, I think about Soph and Melinda. You know, some people just don't get the love that they need. The more I got to know her, the more part of me loved her. You know, as her friend. We weren't close friends, but definitely friends. I asked her to the prom later on that year, but she turned me down. She asked me if I wanted to go view a meteor shower at the observatory with her instead of prom. Best days of my life. I don't think it would have worked well as a real couple. She's making massive scientific breakthroughs. I'm teaching ninth grade English. She became a renowned scientist, and I became a family man. Not that I regret that for a second, because I love what I do. I bet she loves what she does. After all that, the project was solved. I stopped teasing her and started calling her Melinda. Not Melinda Rueben Foster, just Melinda. Remember the last time I talked to her, I actually talked to her in person. The high school graduation just after the ceremony. I don't remember what we talked about. I do remember this. She called me Nick. Not Nicholas. Just Nick.
Although